Hello there, I'm Alex.
And I'm Josh.
And this is the first episode of our new show,
Red Ring Reviews.
We're going to be playing recently released games and reviewing them, just for you.
This week we're going to be reviewing the creepy puzzle platform game, Limbo. Playdead released this arcade game back in July 2010 for Xbox Live, and after generating 7.5 million and receiving many game awards, it was released on PlayStation 3 and Steam only 1 year later in July 2011.
The game follows a boy on his journeys throughout this world, and although it isn't really mentioned in the game, he is on a quest to find his missing sister.
Even though there isn't much of a story, the feel of the game is established through the black and white visuals and ambient sounds.
This gives the game a very creepy, eerie vibe.
The game uses a trial and death system, where secret traps pop out and kill your character at every turn, restarting the level.
Although the continuous dying sounds like it would get really annoying or boring, the deaths actually turn into part of the fun, as there are tons of different ways to die. Onto the gameplay!
The puzzles are challenging and creative and make you want to pull your hair out in frustration.
The difficulty curve is reasonable, starting with the easy puzzles and working up to the incredibly difficult ones.
The game uses a very good physics engine in the puzzles to make everything react in a realistic way.
They use a variety of different ideas, including rotating worlds, changing gravity, and timing-based platforming.
But most of the ideas only appear a few times and are rarely developed.
They could have done so much more with this game and made the puzzles a lot more complicated.
Overall, we gave the gameplay 4.5 stars out of 5 because it was really good, but they could have done a bit better.
It's time for art!
Limbo's art style is very unique. It's entirely black and white with a cartoon style.
Despite its simple style, Limbo pays attention to the smallest details. Nothing is ever overlooked.
The background moves with what your character does and reacts to the environment.
So if you switch gravity, the things in the background will also be affected.
The game also doesn't have any music at all. It relies entirely on ambient noise.
And that makes the game really creepy. Especially if you're playing it at 4 a.m.
Overall, the art style and sounds make for a very immersive game.
So we gave art a 5 out of 5 because it was great in every way.
It was almost perfect.
Story time!
Yay!
Where Limbo falls down is in its story. It lacks any kind of binding plot and leaves you wondering what the heck is going on.
At one point, other characters appear and try to kill you, but it's never explained why or who they are.
And they don't ever appear again, leaving the feeling that something is missing.
By the end of the game, you're left with only puzzles and no character interaction.
Which makes it kind of boring.
The game could also have been made a lot longer.
And it could have had more difficult puzzles and a much better plotline.
The biggest problem is the ending. You expect something big to happen or something to be explained.
But no, nothing ever happens.
And nothing is explained.
What should have happened is he should have woken up in the real world, and then he should have ended up somehow back in Limbo, in that infinite universe.
Instead, you're just left with questions and ultimately disappointment.
Disappointed!
Overall, the game has excellent gameplay and art, but falls really short in its story.
So in the end, we gave story 2 out of 5 stars because it really could have been a lot better.
Combining everything together, we gave it an overall of 7.5 stars out of 10.
Because while the gameplay and art were fantastic,
the story sucked.
It really did.
We recommend this game to everyone.
Especially if you like puzzle games or platformer or creepy games.
So that wraps up our review of Limbo.
Check back next week for our review of Dead Island.
Red Ring Reviews.